This is rapper Tupac Shakur. He was gunned down in Las Vegas and died from bullet wound complications on September 13th, 1996. A week and a half ago, a couple weeks ago, on September 29th, Duane Keith Davis was brought in for connection to the murder. Now, there's been wide speculation, and it's almost been 3 decades, but there's been wide speculations and theories onto who did it and why they did it. Like, who killed Tupac and why did they kill him? The most mainstream one that I've ever heard was that it was an East Coast and West Coast battle between Biggie Smalls and Tupac. There was diss tracks and a friendship lost, and a girl was involved. Faith Evans was a friend of Tupac's, I believe, and then ran with Biggie, and then that just made the tensions higher. But there's a speculation out there that I've never heard from anybody, and I just kind of stumbled along myself. The last probably 2 weeks or so, I've been really hitting that 90s gangster rap like really hard, just listening to those old Eazy-E, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, all those those songs I grew up with, Bone Thugs. So I believe that Eazy-E had direct connection to Tupac Shakur's murder, and I'll tell you why. In the late 80s, Eazy-E and Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, with a couple other bandmates, I'm sorry, their names just escaped me, they started N.W.A, and they got successful. And with success comes money, and with money comes greed, and some of the members felt like they weren't getting paid their fair share. So Ice Cube left first, and then Dre left. But when Dre left, there was some drama. Eazy-E didn't want to let go of Dre because he had major producing talents. So Dre goes up to Eazy-E and says, "Hey, it's me or it's Jerry, our manager, Jerry Heller," because it felt that Jerry was holding them back or not distributing the money correctly. And Eazy-E says, "No, I can't get rid of Jerry," and so Dre wanted to leave. So Dre wanted out his contract, but Eazy-E wouldn't let him out his contract. So this is when Suge Knight comes into the picture. Suge Knight and Dr. Dre were going to start a new record label called Death Row. Suge Knight and his thugs storm into Ruthless Records, which is what Eazy-E started with Dr. Dre. So they storm in to Ruthless Records, Suge Knight and his thugs, and they have baseball bats, probably some straps, and they tell Eazy-E, either you let Dr. Dre out of his contract or we're going to have problems. And they cornered him. Eazy-E wasn't armed. And so instead of getting killed that day, Eazy-E, he's a smart businessman. And he said, okay, it's get my ass kicked here or sign Dre away. And so he signed Dre away, knowing that Dre wanted to leave anyway, so might as well not get my ass kicked, too. So then, after that was over, Dre and Suge Knight, Snoop Dogg, they all formed Death Row Records. And I want to say it was a second or third single off of that album, which is Dre Day, which is a straight up diss to Eazy-E. And I think Eazy-E was working on Real Mother Effing G's at the time, which is a straight diss, not just to Dre, but to everybody at Death Row. And so Dre Day was released, and then Real Mother Effing G's was released, and that was like the most notable diss tracks. There were several other diss tracks. But because of the way the Suge Knight was so aggressive, and I've heard several interviews where Suge is just not a good person and not someone that you want to mess with. Because of how that all went down, Eazy-E told his manager, Jerry, I'm gonna kill that mother effer. I'm gonna put a cap in him, or I'm gonna pay for the hit. And Jerry, I think it was like several hours, talked him down and said, "Easy, you don't want to do this. You know, we still have a business to run. You know, you take him down, you get locked away. What are you gonna do?" So he, he let it, whatever, let it settle, let the dust settle. But years later, Eazy-E contracted the AIDS virus. Okay, and he went to the doctor for routine checkup because he was doing some sessions, and he had asthma, or he couldn't catch his breath, and so he went to the doctor, and surprisingly enough, they found the virus in him. So Eazy-E went to the hospital, and he was getting treated for AIDS, and his health just declined rapidly. So this is like all the stuff that I researched, and this is all pretty much fact. There might be some speculation, whatever. But here is where my conspiracy starts. So this is the conspiracy time. So Eazy-E is laid up in the hospital knowing that he's going to die. He was diagnosed, I believe, late February of, was it 1995? And he died March, I want to say it was March 25th. Please don't hold me accountable to that. But I think it was March 25th, 1995. So AIDS, 1 month, boom, he's dead. That was fast. Okay? So on his deathbed, he knew that he was going to die because he knew he was on his deathbed. Eazy-E was really well connected. Of all the research I've done, there's not one person, one source that said Eazy-E wasn't connected. He had his hand on the streets. He had his hand in the market. He had his hand in the studio. He knew people, and he was high up. So he had connections. So on his deathbed, he makes a call, gets somebody, and he says, "Hey, one of my last things I want to do, kill Suge Knight, kill that mother effer for ruining my band, taking Dre, all the diss tracks. I want that motherfucking killed. Oh, excuse my language. I want him killed." And Eazy-E passes. So the hit was taken out on Suge Knight. So on September 7th in Las Vegas, Suge Knight and Tupac were hanging out, and they leave a club, and they're in Tupac's car. So instead of Tupac driving, it was Suge Knight driving. Tupac was in the passenger seat. So the person that took the hit out probably thought the Suge was going to be in the passenger seat because they're in Tupac's car, when in fact Tupac was riding in the passenger seat. So they roll up to him, and boom, they just start taking shots because they thought they were hitting Suge Knight, and they take off, and that's that. And a lot of these things kind of fit, but here's the most weird thing that I found with my research that kind of made me want to do this video, is that Tupac died on September 13th. But he was shot, which the shots that were meant for Suge Knight, he was shot on September 7th. Now, September 7th is an important date because that is Eazy-E's birthday. September 7th is Eazy-E's birthday. So you can imagine how it would go down. Eazy-E asks for a hit. They put a hit out. Eazy-E dies. And probably somebody close to Eazy-E that had a lot of respect for him. And they go, "Eazy, I'm going to give you something on your birthday next year." And they wait till his birthday, of all days of the year, September 7th. They had 364 other days, but they chose that specific day to go after Suge Knight. And maybe Suge Knight knew that there was a hit out on him. And maybe he thought, okay, it hasn't happened yet. Eazy-E's birthday, this is his first year dead. Maybe I should be careful. And maybe that's why he decided to drive and not be in the passenger seat, because it was Tupac's car. Suge Knight seems like a shady guy that would hold you in front of him if he was getting shot at. So they tended target on September 7th for Eazy-E's birthday, with Suge Knight gonna give that final present to Eazy-E and gonna put that mother effer out of his misery. Well, then they just accidentally started the biggest conspiracy murder ever created in the rap world. And that might have accidentally led to the demise of Biggie Smalls. I haven't done a lot of research on that, but I remember when it happened, I was in high school, and there was a lot of speculation saying that Tupac put a hit out on, or Biggie put a hit out on Tupac, so they got revenge and shot Biggie, excuse me. So that was kind of there, but maybe all that happened just for a mistake, because they decided, Suge and Tupac decided to switch people, and Suge drive and Tupac in the passenger seat. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Thank you for watching.